Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. UWI Head Honchos meet in Antigua to plan the financial future of the university. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Tuesday, 19th October 2021. Details when we return.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenelec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. The University of the West Indies concluded a 2-day retreat in Antigua at Antigua's Five Islands campus on Sunday. Vice-Chancellor Professor Sir Hilary Beckles and the principals of all campuses discussed how to optimize the financial benefits from the University of the West Indies' reputation among the globe's elite universities.
The head honchos of the University of the West Indies gathered at the newest landed campus, Five Islands in Antigua, for the final day of a major 2-day retreat.
I have brought my 4 other principals from Mona, St. Augustine, Cave Hill, and the Open Campus here to Five Islands to sit with Principal Williams so that we can begin some planning for the future, not only of Five Islands, but for the whole enterprise.
Another reason for the meeting?
To congratulate the principal of Five Islands campus on his magnificent stewardship, and also to thank the government for their significant investment in this enterprise and providing a vision for the campus going forward, not only here in Antigua, but also in the OECS and in the wider Caribbean. The Five Islands campus has embedded itself very nicely, very innovatively within the UWI family of campuses.
The University of the West Indies is now ranked in the top 1.5% of the world's elite universities. The 2-day retreat centered on leveraging the strength of that brand to boost its financial standing.
We have spent 2 days on methods and techniques and strategies and systems to launch UWI Global to generate the financial resources to sustain the institution. And this is an exciting time. I can tell you, it is the first time in the university's history that the principals of all of the campuses and the Vice-Chancellor have ever met to discuss exclusively how to make money for the university.
The institution's Latin motto is Oriens ex Occidente lux, a light rising from the West. The aim now is to make that a global spotlight. Professor Beckles explains how the Five Islands campus in Antigua is pivotal to that push.
We are going to be looking at this campus as the place where many of these niche initiatives in higher education that are not going to be high cost to implement, that do not require massive lecture theaters and massive classrooms, but technology classrooms, laboratories to get this kind of teaching and learning done. So that is the vision here. And it's a vision not only for the OECS, it's a vision for the UWI, with our youngest campus coming on stream at the right time in history to provide some leadership in its own right.
A major agreement is set to be signed later this month with another prestigious university, Harvard. Garfield Burford, ABS News.
Over in Trinidad, she's looking for a moment. It's the response of the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, where it concerns the opposition leader attempting to have President removed from office. Furthermore, Dr. Rowley says he's not obligated to answer any questions about whether he met with the president and what they spoke about, even as he revealed that he lost all faith in former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith some time ago. TV6's Renessa Cutting has more.
He stands accused by the opposition of having a so-called secret meeting with the president. Well, today, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley came out and confirmed that he does in fact meet frequently with Her Excellency. As he says, it's not only his right, but also his duty.
I can go there 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and speak to the president as much as I like and talk with anything I want with her. And I am under no obligation to tell you until I or the president think that it is something for public consumption. It's a country running here, not a parlor, you know.
Further, Dr. Rowley says he does not need to go through the president or any other institution to make his feelings known, revealing that he wrote directly to the Police Service Commission, not once, but 3 times, one of which was to express that he had lost all faith in Gary Griffith.
That letter was a letter indicating to the Commission that as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, I had lost confidence in the Commissioner of Police of Trinidad and Tobago. That's 1 year ago. Secondly, recently, after information came to me and a subunit of the National Security Council, the outcome of that was that doing my duty, I had to submit the minutes of that meeting to the Police Service Commission. And thirdly, as I told you all publicly, the government sought and obtained legal advice as to whether the commissioner was properly appointed by the commission. And when I got that legal advice, it was of such import that I realized that it ought to be made available to the Police Service Commission.
However, the Prime Minister denies that he took part in any meeting that would have constituted a breach of separation of powers or interference with the process for appointing a police commissioner.
An opinion that there was a tripartite meeting between the Prime Minister and the President and the Chairman of the Police Service Commission, and therefore there was interference and la. Absolute falsehood. No such meeting took place. And I'll go further. I have never involved myself in any selection by the Police Service Commission of any list. I have seen no list.
The Prime Minister says, ironically, even as the opposition tries to finger the president in an alleged act of conspiracy, it was Her Excellency who was the first to point out that there were errors made in the appointments of Gary Griffith and DCP Jacobs to the acting commissioner posts.
If you have evidence that the president has done something wrong, then tell the country what she has done wrong. Don't come and tell me that you think that you should know what she said or what she did, and can't tell me what she did, but you're going and triggering impeachment. We have been going along here since 2009. It was Her Excellency the President who pointed out to me that legislation of 2009, and of course followed by the one of 2021, the subsidiary legislation was at variance and did not comply with the parent legislation.
But Dr. Rowley says at that point the matters had to play out in the court. And now that a legal judgment has been made, the government is in full support and is moving ahead with the business of the people.
As soon as those names are in the parliament, the government will take steps to treat with the matter with dispatch. That was published coming from me. So that's where we are. Steps are being taken to appoint a new commission for the police service.
Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. President Paula May Weeks has finally broken her silence on the various matters pertaining to the Police Service Commission and the appointments of the acting commissioners of police. In a statement carried in the daily newspapers, Her Excellency iterated the series of events noting that the office of the president is called to make decisions in the national interest. However, former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith describes the action of the President and Police Service Commission in local parlance as caterboil, for which there is no provision in law. TV6's Renessa Cutting reports.
The President began her statement by acknowledging the High Court's judgment that the appointment of Gary Griffith to the post of Acting Commissioner of Police was unconstitutional and therefore void, and went on to say that Her Excellency had awaited a judgment before speaking out on the matter. However, the President said she will not address the question of who came to office or who she met with. Her Excellency did confirm, though, that she received an order of merit list on August 11th, but said that it was withdrawn immediately thereafter on the same day, and as such, she had no list from which to issue a notification to Parliament. The President did not say on what grounds the list was withdrawn. Neither the series of events nor the explanation are sitting well with the former police commissioner.
The only option she has when she received that merit list is to forward it to Parliament. I also looked in the Constitution, and there's nothing given something known as caterboil. And the Police Service Commission doesn't have the authority through caterboil, where it is you could give something to the president and then ask for it later on in the afternoon. There's no authority, whatever is the reason that the PSC chairman decided to do something like that, which she has no authority to do. That is her business, and she will deal with that and answer that. The president, however, had no authority to give any document back to the PSC. Her only option, she has no discretion, is to forward that merit list to Parliament.
However, in her statement, the President said she takes full responsibility for her decision not to send a notification forward for the post of Acting Commissioner, as she had concerns from the outset that Legal Notice 183, Section 4, which was used to appoint both Griffith and DCP Jacobs, was faulty law. Concerns which she says she discussed with the Commission and the Office of the Chief Parliamentary Counsel. The President says she's now awaiting a list of nominees, which first requires a new commission to be constituted. But the President notes that whenever that process is completed, in order for a police commissioner to be appointed, the process must be done under a valid selection process order, so as to avert the recurrence of this situation. But Griffith maintains institutions must do strictly what they are mandated to do, and to leave the work of other institutions to them.
Forward that merit list to Parliament. If and when that is done, the faster the better. Parliament can then decide who is the substantive commissioner of police, whoever that may be. It doesn't have to be me. It may definitely not be me. It could be me. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that institutions must do their job.
As for the Prime Minister's revelation that he lost all faith in Griffith 1 year ago,
I am not going to make any comment as it pertains to the statements made by the Prime Minister.
Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
With Christmas fast approaching, the Jamaica government is ramping up its national vaccination drive. O'Shane Masters of TVJ News reports.
Government is on a drive to have at least 1 million doses of a COVID-19 vaccine in the arms of Jamaicans by November. But vaccine hesitancy is still a concern. In a recent RGR Gleaner Don Anderson poll, 34% of respondents said that they either had not taken or would not take the vaccine, roughly a third of the respondents. Speaking at the latest COVID-19 conversation on Thursday, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Besesa McKenzie says most Jamaicans are still unvaccinated. This, she notes, is of great concern.
12.3% of the population is now fully vaccinated, and further 8.2% have had one dose, so they're due to get their second dose. We need to move these numbers up.
If you take the 65% of the population that we had targeted when we started, the numbers are 27% of persons of that 65% number who have had at least a single dose, and 17% who have a double dose. If you take the entire population, then clearly you're low.
Meanwhile, the CMO says that there's hope following a high take-up of the vaccines by senior citizens.
I'm very pleased to see that the 70 to 79 age group and the 60 to 69 age group, we are seeing just about almost 40% of those age groups having had at least one dose of vaccine. 27.7% in the 70 to 79 age group are fully vaccinated, and a further 11.5% are to get a second dose.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the food fair from anywhere in the world, and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket, and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.